back to another live stream. In today's stream, we're building the RAF Sea King Search and Rescue. As I teased at the end of the last kit stream last Thursday. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to doing this one because I've actually built an earlier version of this one years ago. Although I can't remember if it was an Airfix or a Revel one. But yeah, it's one that I've done before. I'm also a big fan of rescue services. That's why I've got the orange on my vtuber model on my hoodie is actually not to rescue services. So I'm actually, really looking forward to diving into this one. I'm going to do things slightly differently this time. So while this is a gift set that's got the paints included, I have actually already gone pre-selected a bunch of my Army Painter paints because, to be honest, they're much better paints to work with. There's only one colour scheme that they offer for this. There's quite a few decals that can be on this one, but probably not going to get into those this stream. I am going to need something to cut with. Use a craft knife for that. Already a lot easier to get into than that kit. To be honest, that Nat was not a great kit, but I think it's also an older one, so that's probably why. There's quite a lot here, actually. I mean, it is a skill level 3 set, so there's a lot more to it. Thankfully, the temperature in here has died down a bit, as what it was last week, so it's not going to be as unbearably hot. I just wonder if just getting sweaty from the heat last week is what was causing all the stickiness that I was getting on my hands. So once again, the humble glue included, and I might actually look at using this time because where there's some smaller parts, I want to be a lot more precise, and as I found before, even when using the contactor, this can still put out quite a lot of glue. So what I'm going to do is basically use toothpicks to pick up a little bit of glue on the end and then use that to really precisely put a small bit of glue onto the actual kit. Let's get the sprues out. So a lot more than before. Whole sprue of clear parts there. And then chair that's already come off. Intake cover that's come off. Yeah, a lot to it there. It does mean there's a chance for me to finally actually get to use the sprue holder. Figure out which sprue is which. So that's A. That's B. That's G. E. E. There's B. Wait, so where's E and F? Definitely says G. It's one. There you go. This one says E. We're done with like a half size one. Two for now. A lot of decals this time. A lot more fiddly to put on. Get a couple of brushes. So one of them says 4, one of them says 0, so I'm guessing these are slightly different sizes. Probably take a brush for your main layers and then thinner one for your details. Dive into the instructions then. These are the more modern ones, all the nice colouring and everything. Just myself. Better seating position. I'm already getting backache, so hopefully this will help that. Right. I guess I'll dive into. Actually, I'll check these ones first. I couldn't work out which type of colour this is, whether it's metallic or not. Actually, that looks. The paint goes. That doesn't actually look too bad. That needs mixing. It actually might be passable. I might actually just stick with this then. That one needs mixing. B1. One. Brush cutters. Yeah, spray is definitely. See on there, it's quite bent, so it's not really holding too well. Although if I put it in this way, it might hold better. Seems to be a bit better. So to do. The 1mm hole itch, thankfully. Invice 4. Okay, let me get some drill bits. Never mind, I forgot I had them in my toolbox. Don't think I want one that small. Listen, these are the sizes on top. I don't know if the camera's even going to pick that up. I want 1mm, which is quite thick one. So I have a. So it's got, just got some oil on my hands from the pin vise. I don't have a cloth yet, so I'll go get that and also get some water just for when I need it. Be right back. So I've got to drill this hole out. Scalpel in there. I don't know what in there. Right, let's consult the instructions. So it just says cut. Is that? Then I've got to cut those actually out. So it kind of looks like on the instructions there, it looks like it's cut out. Be warped as well. Get the blade off there. Too much at the moment. There's a pin vise to fill the ends out. Cut between them. I'll do it on this side, but the problem is, because of the way it's shaped, I don't want to risk snapping the part. Perhaps there's one bit off. One. I think it's actually my first time getting to use the pin vise on an actual kit. Probably years ago, back when I was still into Warhammer 40,000, because it was always one of the things that everyone said was like an essential part for your toolkit. So I can put this up on here. Yeah, I've never actually had the chance to really use the pin vise because I never got deep enough into the model, like customization and crafting in 40k to particularly need the pin vise. This is the first kit that I've done aircraft kit wise that's been like in depth enough to request it. Right, yeah. Let's try going this way. It's going to be a case of just scoring this repeatedly until the plastic on the edges is worn down enough that it gives out like that. These two I've got to cut out somehow. I should probably get the rest of that. It came out really good. Actually, you know what? Let's use the pin vise first. Is a curved, slightly curved at the back. And I can just run from the outside. Let's see. Slice down through the plastic. Those two open. That's step one, done. Step two, parts B5. Here's this bit. Screws loose. Goes on this way and then into there. So warped. But I mean, this is all on the inside, so it's going to be supported by the exterior structure. I think. Oh, this all needs painting now. There's 64, which is this one. So have a go at mixing it up, see how it goes. But the other paints, this does actually look a bit better. Like it's in better condition anyway. Some lid in there, just get it all mixed up. What I think I'll do as well, since I'm just spraying over a large area, I'll use one of the other brushes that I've got, flat head, so get good coverage with this. It's going on really nice. This is how acrylics paints should be. In this case, I might need my army painter paints. Wow, this might just be a single coat. That's really nice. This is how I wanted the paints on the other kits to go on, but they were not in the best condition. But that's gone. So nice. Side first of this. Drying really nicely as well. Yeah, when I used to build kits before, for whatever reason, my parents always end up getting me enamel paints rather than acrylic. I really liked enamel paints. think it's because they were partly because they were. Oh, I didn't realise quite a while that there's kind of two parts of the acrylic and they get separated. And you do sometimes have to mix them up. Yeah, quite a few issues with enamel paints just not really going on properly. I mean, also the other thing I hate about them is they come in tins that you have to actually get a screwdriver to pry the lid off of, whereas these are nice and simple. So I'd much rather stick with acrylic paints going forwards for all my kits. No real intention of going to enamel anymore. Also with acrylic you can use just water to wash down your brushes and clean parts off, clean excess acrylic off with water, whereas with enamel paints you need proper thinners for them. It's almost dry already. Just leave that a little bit longer to dry just so I can and flip it over without getting paint everywhere on the surface. Start again. It's done, that coat. Well, there's just one coat needed, which is really nice. Really happy with that. We're starting to see now why 64 Humble Paint 64 didn't have any Army Painter equivalent in my Humble shade guide that I bought, or that I printed off rather. It's a free download on the Humble website. Because yeah, this is a bit of an odd colour grey. That's here 64. I'll get in there the next few parts are, but I'll get those out and paint them as I need them. Right, glue time. I think I'm going to try and do something I've never tried before. So I made a fresh toothpick out. A piece of non-plastic material, a lollipop that I can use as a base. Hold on. Do try out more precise gluing. Add more glue than I need on there, and then go in here where parts can be getting glued on. Add in some glue. Some as well because it's this as well. There. If I've done this right, that would be just enough glue to hold it in place with no excess seeping out and messing up the rest of your part. That's literally, if you watch the really pro model makers on YouTube, that's literally how they do things. I'll wait for that to set. Moving on to step 3. Need C4. Not the explosive C4, but the part C4. That bit there. Flash cutters once more. The camera there, sorry. So this is going, it's getting painted the same colour as the other parts. That one I think might not be good. Yeah, that one is still fine. I don't think I'm going to need to do the inside of this one because it looks like where it's going, the fuselage is going to be right on there. So I might just leave it at that. Because I see once I get the fuselage on, it looks like there's a window there, which, to be fair, so I think it's going to be right kind of there. I don't think it is. So I think I can save myself a bit of paint there. Just leave it at that. It's going a little L-shaped piece to here. Going around that, like that. Do the same as before. What I'll do this time is the bottom of this. And if I do get over, go on the inside where it's not going to be seen. That, just put that on. Bit in there as well. Do some on the inside where it's joining, just so it's properly welded. Do a bit on the inside of there actually. Obviously this whole base is a bit warped, so it's coming a little off the bottom, but at least that part's definitely welded now. This part looks like it should be welding quite nicely. It's all welded down now. So, we're on to step 4. So G13, which is also going same colour. Should be that. Oh, it's this one. That's why. He's doing a great job of leaving nothing on there. That's going to go into here. To here. Those little slots that I cut out in the first step. You can really see how warped it is. That should be like that. Yeah, those little slots that I cut out in the first step. So it's going to sit in there like that. So I can't really actually. Maybe I can hold it in place. Yeah, I don't think the size are going to matter too much anyway, but might as well get them done. Actually dry already. Nice. Too much glue. To really weld those bits in. Like that. And then just set a bit more, glue the front on just to keep that in place. I actually had an encounter with one of these aircraft in real life years and years ago when we were on holiday in North Wales. We were on a beach somewhere, and one of them actually landed not far from us. Presumably it was one out of RAF Valley, back when they were still running the RAF search and rescue helicopter operations. Obviously they're being retired now and all handed over to the Coast Guard. I was quite excited to actually see one land not far away. Just actually see one fly right overhead and land. But don't know why they were out there. What they were doing was, I was too scared to go up and ask them because I thought they were out on a, well, chances they probably were on a real rescue. So just left them to it, really. Yeah, but to be honest, search and rescue helicopter pilot has always been my dream job. If I could do anything in the world, I'd love to fly something like this. Bit more blue on the front. They're definitely not perfect. I'm actually going to re-angle my light a bit because I'm struggling to see. Easier. Good to be like that, but because of how warped it is, see that gap there. You're just thinking, I'm not fuselage then. So this is going to go. Yeah, will be just ahead of that window. I don't need to worry too much about painting the back or the top or anything because it's not going to be seen. All done. Number 5. G21 and G23 both need painting in a different colour. 85 is the black. Yep. To be fair, I don't think it's actually pure black. I think it's probably going to be anthracite. Anyway, sprue G. It's 21 and 23. 23. Be more careful with that one. The barriers, no, I think it was the gnat that had the cargo flying on me. One of my files might be thin enough to get in there. It's a possible candidate. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, cross section's all wrong on that one. But It's just the plastic that I didn't cut away enough of, or if the paint has actually covered the inside and thickened it up. Might just be a bit of both, to be honest. This goes in the rearward one. Still not going in. Let's get the file in now. The one needs to be wider. I keep my fingers clear when I'm cutting down. Safety first. Big chunk of material taken out there. BGM is there? Excuse me a moment. Sorry about that, it was playing, but it was muted. Keeps company a bit better. File into this side now. Force it too much because I'm worried that this is a relatively thin part, it might actually snap. Then I need to redo the paint on this as well because I've taken off quite a few bits where I'm trying to open this all up. There, that is now going in. So, I've got some tweezers to hold that while I paint. Or did I cut myself? No, just paint on my finger. That's what I would feel. Yeah, I got a fresh toothpick out. They're not exactly short. Oh, there's a couple. Yeah, like I said, I don't think this is a pure black. I think it's a slightly tinted black because it didn't match up with the Army Painter matte black, which points to a different umbrel colour. I think one of the ones I got on the other kits, so... Body brush is only a small spot. Hopefully this doesn't go flying as I'm painting it. It's supposed to have that tail on the end. It's brush anyway. A lot more watery this. Yeah, the paint's going on pretty well. I think I'll do a second layer just to be sure. Yeah, I might need to trim the end of the brush off. See, I wondered what this bit was. It looks like it's the back for the chair. It's maybe the navigators. It was navigator or like radar officer or something. There's a section in there though that one crew member sits in. It would probably be radars in the anti-submarine warfare version, but search and rescue is probably just camera systems. Drying pretty well actually. Cover it up just to be sure. They dry pretty solid coloured now. Brush before it. Sticks together solidly. That was neat. What was that for now? So the other part is going to be this one. So if I was, well, just be worth painting it on the sprue itself and then cutting it off. Right. The box in this kit's 2011 themed one. Yeah, interestingly, these were actually flown. In fact, this particular one is based on one that's flown by Prince William when he was flying the search and rescue helicopters during his RAF service, which all the royals have to do. So this one was actually based out of RAF Valley, which is where I saw one that I encountered in real life. Yeah, I think these were in service because both the RAF and the Navy had these in search and rescue service until 2013 Defence Review or 2016 Defence Review. I can't remember now, but it was one of them. The MOD decided, or the government decided, that having search and rescue services was surplus to military needs. So yeah, they were all phased out, and all the stations that were around the country were handed over to the Coast Guard. Now operate them. So the Coast Guard went from, pretty much overnight, went from 3 locations to 10. And at the time they were operating the slightly bigger variant of this, the Sikorsky S61, which is the civilian version, which, if you look at the fuselage, I think the S61 was actually a bit longer. Also, the door wasn't there, it was actually at the front. Right here is where or somewhere around here. Actually, I forget. The box, you see it better. So you've got the door there, and you've got the landing gear there. And the S61, the cockpit is further forward, and the door is actually in there. I don't know if the landing gear is more rearward, or I feel like the 61 is a bit longer, but it's more or less the same aircraft. Yeah, what the Coast Guard was flying over here, but then after that they phased them out, and so now they're split between the stations that need longer range aircraft. They use the Sikorsky S92 helibus, which is what the helicopter operators use to ferry people up to and from all the North Sea oil and gas fields. And then in other locations around the country, the Coast Guard uses the Leonardo AW189, which is like a slightly bigger, well, or a bit bigger version of the A109. I suppose used in places where they don't need the range, but they can use these smaller helicopters to basically get in tighter places. Fuel drying, I think I can possibly let this go and let it finish up drying on there. Make this on here so I don't have to hold it all the time. But interestingly, in most countries the Coast Guard is a full branch of the military, because the Coast Guard typically has security roles. And while it is how the British Coast Guard started, it was just to curb a lot of smuggling that was happening primarily from the Netherlands into Britain. Basically because of all the high taxes that angered the Americans and caused them to declare independence. The same high taxation was causing us to also have a lot of smuggling in and out of the country. So the Coast Guard was formed to deal with that, but at some point all the security roles were taken away from our Coast Guard. And so now it's one of the only Coast Guards in the world whose primary role is search and rescue. As such, they're now a civilian operation, so all the search and rescue pilots that fly here do so on commercial licenses, not military ones. Which is actually why there's still a chance that I could actually become a search and rescue pilot someday. I am actually saving up for flight school, but I can't afford to save up too much right now, and flight school costs a lot. Although weirdly, I found out that commercial flight school costs actually quite a lot less than fixed wing. Yeah, that's definitely something I really want to pursue if I get the opportunity. And then after that, from what I've seen, I think I saw a job come up for Search and Rescue Co-Pilot, which is like your entry level, up in, was it Inverness or Aberdeen, up in Scotland? Can't remember now, it's one of them. But they require 750 hours on your licence, and you typically graduate flight school with about 130, I think. At least from the flight school I was looking at, that's the one they say you'll have when you finish their course. There's a full-time year-long course as well. But I think it's the same one that Rory and Air did, just at a different flight school. Yeah, if you're interested in helicopter flying, by the way, definitely check him out. He's got a great YouTube channel. Yeah. Search and Rescue Pilot is definitely something I would really love to achieve, but yeah, it's a bit out of my price range at the moment, unfortunately. Also, there are very, very few helicopter flying jobs, at least in the UK. It's pretty much the only places that do them at bulk level are Aberdeen, which is actually the world's busiest heliport, interestingly, because it's all the North Sea oil and gas fields, all the helicopters that take people in and out of there, primarily with the Coastguard 92. They all fly out of Aberdeen, so there's a lot of helicopter jobs there. And then the other major one here is Norwich, which is primarily, I think, AW139s, and they're to service the wind farm, the wind farms you got out in like the Wash and kind of around that area. Yeah, outside of that, there's kind of the odd one here and there, things like, you know, London Heliport and executive transport, but there's not really a whole lot here, so getting a helicopter job is something that's very challenging. But I was reading about, I think it was Leonardo posted on their Twitter page about a woman who did her commercial helicopter license but then couldn't get a job, so she started working at Leonardo because they have a manufacturing facility in the UK at Yeovil, funny enough, where the Sea King was actually made, or where we made our ones. They're American Sikorsky helicopters, but we licensed built ours over here. But yeah, she got a job there as an engineer and then just basically waited until opening came up, and she now started flying as a test pilot, which is pretty cool actually, that you can get that progression. Yeah, that's still wet. Yeah, unfortunately it's kind of the only way, unless you can really afford to fly your own helicopter, which is also not cheap. Looking, well, to be fair, you probably get some good deals on second-hand ones, but the only ones I really like, I really like the Cabri G2, but that's €500,000 if you want like a decent spec on it. Well, yeah, €500,000 to buy one of those, excluding tax. But I think the one I'd ideally like, if I could afford it, is probably something like an Airbus H135, which funny enough I've got to, you know what, well, I've got some time to wait for that to dry. I'll get some more kits down to show off. We're not going to be doing these kits anytime soon, but I do have these two. Well, these are both EC135 label because it was the old Eurocopter branding, but you can see from here, Eurocopter's been rebranded to Airbus helicopters now, and I think officially they're the H135s. But yeah, these are like the go-to helicopters for air ambulance services because they're so cleverly designed. Primarily because you can see it better on this one. It's got a clamshell. Actually, I don't know if they... have any good pictures of it, but yeah, basically on the back you've got these clamshell doors which just pop a couple of hinges and they open out really wide, and they can actually, in their ambulance service, get a full stretcher in straight without having to manoeuvre them through a door. For like executive transport use, they'd be really useful for like basically giving you full access to a luggage area rather than a little hatch that you'd normally get on other aircraft. It's like full opening doors. Yeah, that would be ideal, but when I looked into it, I think they're for a decent spec. You want like 5 million euros for a brand new one, excluding tax again. That's, yeah, way more than I'm ever going to be able to afford, I think. Dry enough. Use that flips over. Some more glue on. I think I can do this time. Then toothpick it on. I'll just dab that lightly. Then which side is this? Blue's in this way, so there, and then this needs to go here, and I pull the other bit out. Going together, not in the way I want. This one in first at least. Isn't wide enough at the moment. Let's use this as a file. So, just because I'm going to get that. Put some glue into there then. Yeah, as it is. Since I had a chance to dry, I can then try and get the other side back in. Wait for that to all dry. I might get the seat painted now. This one, G14. Yeah, this paint's a little bit watery. But I think it's only a 2 coat, so once it's actually properly dried. Now. Last black bit for now. For the next steps, that's all 64, which is the grey one again. I do wonder if I might as well just get those painted as well. B6, wherever that is. That one. And G10. This will be 5, which has got a big cutting. Decals I need to stick in there, where the screens are. The only one. I do some for the cockpit panel at the front, but for where the seat is. Putting onto that. Touch up this. G5, where's G10? door go grey as well. Pretty good. This one, I'm going to need the second coat on that one. Probably not so much on that one. Yeah, well on that one. Good. Do that then. We just try and get it in a good position, but it's going to be the back of the chair, so I don't know how important it is to get it perfect. It's all really welded together. The set, and get another coat on the chair. Black's looking a lot more solid on that. Obviously, it doesn't really look that comfortable as a chair, but I guess, strictly speaking, this is a military aircraft, so very much function over comfort. It's supposed to be like that. We can't see it on camera, there's just little bits coming out there that that's onto, so still got some there, yeah. Get some fresh glue. Be about trying to dodge onto those there. But then hold that at the right angle. When I get the seat on, it will then be in place. The British military have phased out all the Sea Kings from service now. Pretty sure there's none left. I know the Lynx is being phased out in favour of the Wildcat, and then they're trying to phase out the Puma. They're doing the competition at the moment to see what's going to be the replacement for the mid-sized helicopter in service. No, Airbus and Sikorsky are both in it. I think Leonardo is as well. I don't remember who else. I think there's a fourth company that's bidding to basically take that on. What else we got helicopter wise? We've got the Chinook still. We've got the Merlin as well. Oh yeah, we've got the Apache. Because our training fleet's just been replaced, so we've gone from Squirrels to, they call them Junos and Jupiters. They're basically Airbus 135s and 145s. I think Juno is the 135 and Jupiter is the 145. But yeah, those were the training aircraft the RAF uses, and then obviously they've got nothing search and rescue wise anymore because they've all gone to the Coastguard. Yeah, it's all changing at the moment with the RAF fleet because Hercules has just been retired in favour of the A400M. When I was in the Air Cadets, the only camp that I did was to Brize Norton, which is where at that point it was the VT-10s doing artillery refuelling and the Tri-Stars doing the passenger transport, but they've been replaced by the A330s now. called Voyage. I can't remember the code for them, but yeah, the MRTTs, mixed refueling troop transport, I think is what they stand for. Although interestingly, the RAF ordered more than they actually needed. And what they did was, the ones that were surplus, they actually leased out, and I think Jet 2 had them, so you could actually fly to holiday on an RAF transport, but it was all in like, it was all decked out in Jet 2 livery. Yeah, it's all changing, because I guess also, I think the Nimrod was still in service back then as well as our maritime patrol aircraft, but yeah, they got phased out, surplus to needs, and then we had a Russian sub surface off the coast of Scotland, and the Navy couldn't track it, so we had to get the Dutch Navy to send an aircraft up to try and track it. So yeah, I think after that the government realised, oh yeah, we do need maritime patrol aircraft, funny enough, as a maritime, like as a islands nation. Yeah, we now got American, we went from British built Nimrods to American built Poseidons. Got the F-35s coming into service. Then the Eurofighters are all being phased out now. The Tornadoes are all gone. Yeah, it's all changing. Right, seat is dry, so I'm going to cut that out. That's actually dried incredibly well. I don't know whether it's just because of the colour of it, but you actually cannot really see brush marks on that at all. That's dried so smooth. Really impressed with that. Gotta get that. Gotta get that onto there now. It's just little tabs coming out that this is supposed to sit on. I think it's still wet, so a little bit. Otherwise, actually go interface rather than doing like the whole thing and then messing the whole back up where it's not going to actually stick. It's already sticking. We do a little bit of black around the edge just to touch that up, but I mean, that can be against the wall anyway, you'll never see that. So it's probably not even worth it. I mean, sprue. Well, not the sprue, on this side. Yeah, you look where that is. Oh, there. You can just see the seat poking out the top of it, but the actual stand it sits on, you're never going to see that. So I'm happy to leave that as it is. For that, step 6 is now done, so we can go on to step 7, which I've already got painted. It's going to be this little one here. This one's going to be really fiddly to do. Get that one into there, basically. Oh, that's slotted right in. That was that the hole that I... No. What that I drew out was there. do. Have a glue on the base. Back. Perfect, exactly where I need it. I'll glue in place, and that's number 7 already done. So we'll move on to 8, which I've already got pre-painted as well. And where was this one again? C. Big one here. So that's where the hole I drilled comes into play. Hold this one into place. I'm going to need to draw that again just to reopen it from all the paint. There's not going to be a challenge because of how warped the base is. This should all be sitting flush. It is not. Bring out a lot more. I might switch to a slightly larger drill bit, I think. This is 1.2 millimeters now. Easier. So I think I have to start by gluing this side down and then glue that one on after. Hope it holds in place. Be viscous now. Hold this side down just to get really welds in place. Sorry, is there? Oh damn it, there's another cutout. I missed that one. Right, I've got to cut that on first. It's going to sit flush. So what I'll do then, glue in the hole and I'll cut out. That'll weld those in place then. So that'll firmly be welded down there. Probably get some on the interior seam on here. You're not really going to see that. I'll just weld that down on there. Oh, that's... Let that. Do those and just let those welds form. Yeah, not going to touch it now. What we'll do though is cut out the next bit already. I'm going to have a hard stop in 20 minutes because this is going to definitely be a multi-part build, so I'm not going to go on too late with this one. Go in there. I'm going to have to touch that paint-wise. Yeah, looks like this is actually a little seat. I'm guessing it's like a booster seat they got by the door. Probably where the winch operator would go, I'm guessing. That was a bit damaged. Don't know what happened there. Things out. In fact, I should probably paint the inside to seal those up. And do that. So just around the bottom there. Into there just to fill in the gap, and then when that dries, that should be solid and that should really hold it in place. I mean, you've already got, yeah, you've got those two welds there which will very rigidly hold it in place, and the paint will just help it further. Once this is all done, this will be this first page done. Either how many pages actually are there? There's page 15 and this is page 5, so there's 10 pages of instructions total. Yeah, there's a lot to do. Just doing the edges. Might need to get some fresh glue. I think this is going to work. Glue. I'm now using a fresh toothpick because this is getting really globbed up with glue now. Yeah, and you're not really going to see that from the outside because there's only a small little porthole window that goes into there. Yeah, there must be no decals for the camera stuff here because it's showing putting the decals on for the cockpit panel. Oh, that's interesting, so you can get stands for it. I don't have. I might actually get one. Well, to be fair, this is going to be freestanding. So I might just leave it at that actually. The other thing I'm interested to see actually is the door. Okay, so on here, yeah, I think it's just a glued in door. I'm pretty sure on the last one I had, last case of these I had, it was actually a free moving door. You could open it, close it. Well, that's the intake on there. So what's this piece that came off then? Because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go on there. See if I can find it. You see it anywhere. Oh, that's interesting though. So it's saying we're going to cut these last two bits off. So I wonder if what Airfix has done is they've used a different kit and then just added probably sprue G on as like an extra search and rescue frame. At least one of the sprues on as an extra one. I know for a fact that there are models of Sea King which have this on in front of the engines to basically stop debris going directly into the engines. It kind of routes it around the side. Yeah, this does have the box on the front instead, which has got like heavy duty filters. I think. Okay, so years ago, I got to do a visit to HMS Sultan, which is the Navy's engineering training, aeronautical engineering training facility. They had a bunch of HER3s there. Because I think in the Navy service they brought them in, and then like 3 months later mothballed all of them because they decided they didn't need them. I'm sure the guy that was taking us around said that they put these boxes on because in Iraq and Afghanistan, when these were operating out as troop transports, the sand was just basically getting into the engines and causing havoc, so they had to put these heavy duty filters on to basically block the sand from getting in but still allow the air through. Yeah, I guess the ones that ended up being used in service back here were also fitted with those. Yeah, there's that power then isn't going to be needed because that's from an earlier model of Sea King. Yeah, an earlier mark. Which is not relevant for this particular one. So, where were we? We're trying to glue all this down. We'll try and get that glued down now, even though it's warped. Do this. Going to hold, but don't really know what else to do at the moment just because of it's warped. Instead, it seems to be doing a decent job. I need some fresh glue though. Some down the back. A bit. Well, I guess since this is basically done now, this page, let's turn it over. Yeah, now we'll put the rear piece on and then the seats, which are split seat. There's that one. I guess we cut out those. Or is it C2? Yeah, there's two. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's C1. Oh, so you cut it where I think that's wide. And then take the longer piece. What? It's actually glued in place. Pretty impressed by that. I've got to figure out this bit. Go on like that. Oh. Okay, it's a good thing I didn't have that sitting in anything important, but yeah, that bit there was sitting in the glue. Not great. Yeah, didn't impact anything important, thankfully. That's in the position I need it. I'll go around the corner there. This was not really going to stick down. It is. A bit long just to be safe, but actually might be sticking down okay. Oh, no, that one's come off. The front. Yeah, no, that one's coming off too. I think it's a bit too warped at the moment. Don't really know how to correct that. I have to see over the weekend about trying to do something to actually just glue those down, try and hold them in place, but yeah, I don't really know what else to do at the moment. This is a pretty warped part. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there since almost at 2 hours and I've got so much more to do. A lot of fiddly stuff as well coming up because I've got the cockpit to do next. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there then. Thanks for watching. We do enjoy doing these model kits, so based on what I've seen, these are going to be at least 3 or 4 streams, I'm guessing. I knew this was going to be a longer one, but I didn't realise how much longer. Yeah, after I've done this, my next project is going to be, I've got, actually let me get the parts out. So, what I can do is without blocking the cameras too much. I've got all of this printed off. This is all 3D printed. A couple more parts I need to do, but basically this is the M8 Avenger from Mass Effect. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of cleanup to do. Parts like this, just stuff like this where you got the just artifacting on here. Also, this one had to cut up into multiple parts, so I've got to glue that all together and then clean that up because that also, where is it? Yeah, see it warped slightly on there. But one thing I do like is that the person who built this or designed this kit, who modelled it, did a good job cutting it all up because you've got all these holes here, so you can actually put pins in in order to actually hold all the parts together. So it should be a really good one to do. Yeah, really looking forward to this. I've had this printed for quite a while. I've wanted to make it, but just haven't got around to actually finishing it off yet. So streaming it is a very good excuse to get it all done. And it is, as far as I'm aware, 1:1 scaled as well, so it's going to be a proper cosplay prop. I'd really love to do a full Mass Effect cosplay at some point, but I'm probably going to do a Quarian, but I haven't quite figured out how to actually get it all done yet, because the only parts I can find online, like foam templates and stuff, are for Talizora, which is fine because I do like Talizora. It's the only Mass Effect statue I've actually bought is hers. Yeah, I want to do male Quarian, like maybe Carol Riga or something. But yeah, there's just not really the templates out there for that at the moment. So yeah, got that to come, but like I said, that's probably a few weeks from now based on how long is looking like this kit's going to take me. So yeah, we'll see. And then after that, I mean, the Avenger's probably going to take me a few weeks as well. It depends on whether I decide to do any sanding off stream or not. I see how I feel, but once I've got that done, my next plan after that is I want to really start getting into diorama making, because that's basically a long-term goal of mine for streaming, is to actually start building dioramas, and kind of what Onigiri has done with cooking streams with other VTubers. I'd love to do that for dioramas as well, like actually do collabs and build dioramas for other VTubers. I think that'd be a really, fun and creative idea to do. Yeah, I am quite inspired by the fact I've started watching quite a few diorama channels on YouTube, and I really love just everything they do. How they actually make all the different parts and put it all together is just, so what I'm really into. So that is going to be something I'm going to be starting to do, I guess at this stage, probably a couple of months from now, just because of how long this kit's going to take and how long the Avenger's going to take. But that is something I'm going to be getting into. So yeah, until then, next stream will be on Monday again. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and get VR tracking set up this weekend, and if I can, I want to do a flight sim landing challenge stream. Otherwise I'm going to have to figure out something else to play. For Wednesday I'm going to try doing Supreme Commander, play more through the campaign. But that said, my last Halo video has actually done pretty well. Not particularly great because it's only got 1 live view plus 3 more views of the VOD, but it's actually more than I've been getting on other videos lately. And also had my first live chatter as well, which is actually very nice. So clearly there's a demand for VTubers in Halo at the moment, so that might be something I'll pick up. Maybe even just do that as Monday streams, just like the odd firefight stream here and there. I do want to get to campaign again at some point, but I don't know when I'm going to be doing it just yet. But yeah, I'll probably will be dipping into firefight every so often. So yeah, that's what's going to be coming up. Yeah. Apart from that, just thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you're interested in keeping up to date on the latest streams of what I'm doing. I do try and I'm trying to get into the habit of putting the waiting rooms up on YouTube on the Sunday. So by the time the week starts, you should have my schedule up as waiting rooms. And I might start doing more on community posts just to get stuff in there. I want to try and get more done on Twitter, but to be honest, I've been getting no engagement on Twitter at all, so I'm finding it hard to find the motivation to actually do anything on there at the moment. So yeah, until next time, I guess I will see you later.